Hi everyone and welcome to the vlog. Tonight we thought, well, with all this pandemic going on and everyone locked into the room, we would just do a quick little tour around our house. So what are we going to have a look at tonight?
We're going to start with the snakes and we're going to show you the big ones and the little ones and everybody in between.
Excellent. And we got all our snakes, plus we've got our spiders, we've got our scorpions, and then we've got some new stuff as well. We've got geckos. Yes, we've got fat tail geckos, and one of them, well, the female we think is pregnant, although she's really
hanging on to
it. She just won't give it up. No, I don't know why, so she won't give it up. And then also we have rats, so if you don't like rats, well, you'll just have to turn off. Okay, all right, so we'll have a look at our snakes. What are we going to start with? What do you reckon? Slytherin. All right, here he is over here. Let's have a look at Slytherin. Woo-hoo.
He is very social. He always wants to come out. And what do you reckon? How big is he?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I'd say about 2 meters, I would say. Snakes are really hard to tell how big they are because
they're always curly. They never actually go in a straight line. It's like
no. Yes, so it's hard to tell with a snake. I don't know, but yeah, I'd say somewhere around that 2 meter mark. Yeah.
So a lot of our room is a work in progress. So everything's pretty much in its raw state. We've built our own. We've built our own sort of rack system, if you want to call it a rack, but it's not really, it's just a display system. And lately we've been getting a little bit arty, trying to get a bit arty with their backgrounds, and we're trying to do it ourselves, save a bit of money. And this is our brand new, we've got 2 of these tanks. These are our brand new ones. These are from Reptile 1. Wasn't too happy with the bottom of it because they're made out of melamine and not glass. So that it only had one small panel, and he likes to upturn his water a lot, and the thing rotted out within the first 3 weeks that we had it. So that little review there. Love the tank, hated the bottom. So, but it was a quick $15 fix for a new piece of melamine, so from Bunnings, so that's okay. That worked out all right, and we just need to monitor him now. But he will get a background, and he's going to have a nice little. What do you reckon, jungly kind of thing, or?
Yeah, it's something a little bit more arboreal, so something a lot more trees and vines. Cameron had a really good idea today. He found some, the vines that you get down in the park that are climbing up the trees, and they just eventually overgrow the tree. Well, he cut some of that off today.
Oh, that twisty thing.
Yeah, he cut that off. So I think, that might, I don't know, we'll have to have a look. We'd have to make sure that we stick it in the oven and kill any germs or anything, any...
They're big, they're not going in my oven.
Oh,
they cakes in that.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll find some way to cook it and kill off all the, like mites and parasites and all that sort of stuff, because we don't want to add that into our tank.
So what type is he?
So, Slytherin is a Darwin carpet python. So he's het for albino, which basically that means he's got the gene. He's got the gene, so if he's
partnered with the albino female.
Yep. So we have an albino female, and we'll show you her later on. But basically, when these two mate, we'll get anywhere between 50 and 75% of all their babies will come out as a albino carpet python. And just we'll show you in a little bit. We've actually got a baby albino carpet python, or Darwin carpet python, and we'll show you her in a minute. But maybe we'll get him out. Let's have a look at him.
Well, you can do that.
Okay, so we're going to get Slytherin out now. He's a 5-year-old, and I actually bought him from a guy down in Sydney, and when we purchased him, we we actually drove all the way to Sydney, picked him up that night, and brought him back with his girlfriend.
Quick 24 hours.
quick 24-hour trip. But yeah, the original owner said, look, he is a little bit cage defensive, so we just make sure that, you know, we touch him, and, you know, once he knows that I'm not food, he should come out okay. Now he is very, very, very fast, and
he just loves to explore everything.
He loves to explore everything. He never stops still. I don't think I've ever held him actually yet without him just constantly wanting to move.
He's got such a pretty underbelly. He's very speckly underneath.
Yep.
Very speckly. Very. You can see that white in him. He's just gorgeous. He's a gorgeous boy.
So I'm around 175 centimeters. So you can see there if I hold him up, you know, he won't go to the ground, but he is. No. He's got to be over at least over 1.8 meters up to 2 meters. So he's quite a decent size.
He's just a wiggle worm. He just loves to come out and he just wants to explore.
He does. But he's got
a great temperament.
Yeah, when he's out, absolutely. And to be honest, he's never actually tried to bite me coming out, but I just use the hook just to make sure. Just when I pick him up, he realizes, oh well, I'm not getting fed, so he then tries to escape. Actually, he tries to go back into his hide. So yeah, so that's Slytherin, 100% het albino Darwin carpet python. So he's a Morelia variegata. So yes, he's going to have some beautiful babies with his girlfriend Fluffy. We'll show you Fluffy soon. In fact, we might show you Fluffy now. So you can go back in.
He's funny, you know, sometimes we can get him out, but then he doesn't want to go back in, and then sometimes he's just like, yeah, that wasn't a long enough visit out, I want to come back out. And then he takes his time going in.
And then he'll probably want to try and come out again. No. There you go. So everything's locked up. We don't want them escaping.
Now this is Fluffy. This is Slytherin's going to be girlfriend, and hopefully they will have some lovely playtime.
Lots of cuddles.
Lots of special snaky cuddles.
Lots of special snaky cuddles.
Later on in the year. So she's got one of these big cages as well. She doesn't tip her water over, so this one's been okay so far. She picks and chooses whether or not she's happy to come out, but once she comes out, oh, she's absolutely gorgeous. She's got a beautiful temperament. She's never bitten. She's hung onto the fence outside.
She hangs on to everything.
She literally hangs on to everything. She's like, new. But she is absolutely gorgeous.
So have a look at her tail. Look at this prehensile tail. So
looks like a pretzel.
They're semi-arboreal, so they're really good at hanging on. You just got to be really gentle with their tail. You don't want to go pulling these things too much because you can break their tails, and that would not be good. All right.
So this is our Fluffy. So she is just beautiful. I could hold her all day. She's just gorgeous. She gets a little bit wiggly like the other one, but Slytherin's way more wigglier. So she's going to have a background as well, and we're going to do the foam from Bunnings and do it in there. Going to try and do it in what would be their natural backdrop, I guess. So we're trying to keep it all in a theme for them, and we've only got a little house, so we've had to expand. So we are coming along here. So this one's Felicia, this one is Spots, and this one is Kaylee. And she usually thinks she's going to get fed. This one never misses a beat. She is always up for some food. She's a spotted python, and we are trying to get her used to being held. She was in a pet shop for 5 years, never saw the light of day outside, and she did have a couple of cuddles with the pet shop people, but we're trying to get her used to us. But unfortunately she still thinks that we're food, so we don't tend to go in willy-nilly just for a cuddle. So but here is Spots, and he is the very reason that we got into snakes. And it's our son Cameron, he always wanted a snake, and I was like, always no. So this is Spots. So when we got Spots, he was about as, he was just around 20 centimetres long, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was tiny.
And now he is quite a bit bigger. And how old? 2 years? 2.5?
Good question. Geez. Probably 2.5, yeah. I'm not sure if he's 3 yet, but yeah, definitely 2.5.
He's absolutely gorgeous. We got him when he was, what, 9 months old, I think it was?
About 9 months
and
old.
They keep them, like, tiny at the pet shops to make them look cute. And so as soon as we started feeding him up, he just absolutely
took off.
Yeah, he was, he's a very healthy boy. He's never given us any issues whatsoever. He is the most placid thing. He loves to come out for a cuddle.
Yeah. So we, So the story is, I went down to the pet barn, I think, to pick something up for our dog. I think it was. And whilst I was there, I just had in the back of my mind that Cameron had been asking Mum for a snake for a long time, and we kept saying no and no and no and no. So I saw Kaylee. So back over here, this is Kaylee. I saw Kaylee and I went, oh, she's nice. And then they showed me Spots, who was a baby. And I was like, oh, okay. So I gave Danny a call. I said, look, you really should come down and have a look at these snakes. They're awesome. So Danny came down, and soon as the guy at the pet shop got Kaylee out, this one here, soon as he got Kaylee out to show us, he got bitten. Kaylee got him right on the hand. And the thing was, he didn't even flinch, did he?
No.
He didn't flinch. And he was standing there talking to us with this snake latched onto his finger, and we're going,
You're right there.
You're right, do you need it? And he's like, no, it's all good. So we were like, oh, maybe it doesn't hurt so much after all. And then he said, look, I've got some of these baby ones, and we showed Danny Spots, who was blonde spotted python. And as soon as Danny held him, she fell in love with him straight away. He was so cute. Very, very timid. And so Danny had brought Cameron down. Did you bring Cameron down? No, you didn't bring him down. No, that's right. We then went home and got Cameron and brought him back. And then Cameron absolutely fell in love with him, and he wanted him. So here in Queensland, you actually have to have a license to own these, to own any reptiles. So we
signed up.
We signed up right there and then. It took us, what, 20 minutes? It was about 20 minutes, really.
Yeah.
But by the time we actually decided to do it, we actually decided to do it just before the shop was shutting, and so we ended up, they stayed back for us whilst they did the paperwork. We got a license there and then, and we were able to bring him home, and we picked up this. No, actually, we didn't get this terrarium.
No.
He was in a Tupperware container.
Yeah, because they say that you shouldn't have them in anything too big because it sort of stresses them out when they're so tiny.
Mm.
So
we just got a heat pad. That's right. We got a heat pad, and we got a Tupperware container like a lunchbox, and put some holes in it for breathing, and that was it. And we brought him home.
Mm.
And then from there,
he is such a spectacular colour out in the daylight.
In the sun.
He goes rainbow.
Yeah.
There's a slight tinge here. But
don't know if the camera will pick that up,
but
you get this really nice iridescence.
Stunning. We'll have to do a daytime one as well.
Yeah. So then yes, he was our first snake, and then probably a couple of months later we've got this snake that's about this long.
20 centimetres.
Yeah, maybe about that long. Mm-hmm. He was quite tiny when we went. Wow. Okay. Maybe we'll get a bigger snake, and we ended up. I'd been.
You're right.
We ended up getting a black-headed python. I'd been doing some research on black-headed pythons, and I absolutely fell in love with them.
So in Spots' tank here, so he's got his hide. He's got his hide. He's got his tree branch. He's got
water here.
Fake plants over the back. We need to fix the roof. And got the heat lamp. Got cutout lamp. And got this foam that I was playing around with a couple of weekends ago. So we're doing the backdrops, as I mentioned before. Getting the foam just from Bunnings. It's like $11 a sheet, and it does the size of Felicia's tank and Bo's, or both Kaylee and Spots at the same time. So good bargain, $11 to do their backgrounds. And I was playing around, and I put a skull on hers because she's a biter. So
we've got a nickname for you, but this is a family show, so
PG one.
we won't tell you what that is.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Spots.
Yeah. So up here, so for anyone that is new to reptiles or wants to get into reptiles, so there's the basics that all you need. You need some substrate.
We use
Critter Crumble. You need a hide. You need a heat mat, well, you can't see it, it's underneath the glass. You need, if you just have a look up here, you need a heat source for basking. So we've got a 100 watt globe in this one. It's a smaller tank, so we only need 100 watts in here, and that the basking temperature around here is around the 32 degrees. And then we've got a light source over here, and we just bought
Alexa.
Yeah, we got Alexa, and we've got
so we play around with the colours.
So we got lights that are intelligent, Wi-Fi lights, and we can just change the colours. But during the day, these lights come on, and they're a daylight colour. So and then at night time we just get them to, when the sun goes down, they actually change to the colours that we set them. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I love these backgrounds. Danny spent a lot of time making these, and she's very artistic, so she was able to make these look like really cool.
And it's still a work in progress, but they're coming along. So I've painted up that one, but I haven't done Kaylee's yet because I actually quite like the rawness of it, but I'm still thinking I might blend it into everybody else's now, so it's not like so
you can see Kaylee here. She's hungry. So if I stuck my hand in there, she would bite me. And she's bitten me several times. She's bitten Danny several times. And it doesn't. Yeah, look, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt, but
it doesn't tickle.
It doesn't tickle, but it really isn't. It's not as bad as people think it is.
It's just like acupuncture needles. If you've ever had an acupuncture needle. All right, moving along. We've got, this is our big girl Felicia.
So Felicia is our biggest snake. She's massive.
She's about 2.6 or 7?
Oh, 2.5, 2.6 maybe. It's hard, again, like we said before, it's really hard to tell how big these snakes are because they won't stretch out for you. They keep curling up.
I think she's going to get fed too.
Yeah.
Well, our rat supply dried up this week, so
oh, see that? She thought
she was going to get fed.
She thought she was going to get fed.
This is the big girl.
So just as soon as I touch her, whoop, oh, I just put dust all over the floor. Now, as soon as I touch her, she'll know I haven't got food, so she's fine. She's fine now because
she's absolutely beautiful.
But if I went in there with a big rat, she would smash it. So we feed them in the cage. Yeah, she's a big girl compared to Spots. Now Felicia is actually our third snake that we got. Her boyfriend, who's down in here, is Bo, and he's the second snake. We'll get him out in a minute. He's hiding. He's hiding. He's somewhat smaller, not as heavy. Felicia is actually around 7 kilos. I think it's 7 or 7.5 kilos she is. So no, she's yeah, she weighs a fair bit, this girl. Now their actual scientific name is Aspidites melanocephalus. They're from central Queensland, and their common name is a black-headed python. These guys are beautiful. They're fantastic. She is never bitten. She's a rescue. We got her from the RSPCA. Unfortunately, the person who had her before was a naughty person and was feeding her live rats, and in Queensland, and I think pretty much most of Australia, if not all of Australia, it is illegal to feed live rats to your snakes or to any reptiles. So
in captivity. In
captivity, yeah. So
it's just not a nice environment. I mean, they both know death is inevitable.
Yeah.
It's just who's going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not nice for the prey. It's not nice for the.
So if anyone who keeps reptiles, and it's a massive debate worldwide as to whether or not live feeding, and look, and I understand why some people do it, because at the end of the day, if your snake's not eating, and the only thing it will eat is something live, well,
so be it.
Well, yeah. So, but in Queensland, it's illegal. So, and the reason why I don't recommend it, I don't know if you can see here. See these? See this here? This is damage right here.
From live food.
From a rat. So what happens is, snakes only eat when they want to eat. They don't kill prey for the sake of killing prey. They don't do it for a sport, and they don't do it to keep it for later on. They kill their prey and they eat it straight away. So if the snake's not hungry, and you put a live rat in with the snake, and then you just walk away and leave it, inevitably what happens is the rat attacks the snake. And if the snake's not hungry, it just gets attacked by the snake, and this is what happens. You end up with your snake full of. Oh,
you just turn around.
Chew marks.
Perfect. There's some scars on her there. Here and here. She's such a beautiful girl. Can't believe that she'd be treated like that. But
so if you then ask yourself, if you say to yourself, well, she's just got a couple of scars. What about it? Let me tell you. When I first was approached, I approached the RSPCA and the environmental protection guys about her. They said, absolutely, you can have her, but she's in vet care. So you'll just need to wait for her to come out of vet care. Now she'd already, when I found out about her, which was at an RSPCA pet show that they had, Adopt a Pet, this was a few years ago, they said she'd been in vet care for quite some time, and we'd need to wait till she got out of that vet care before we could have her. I think from memory, Dan, it was about 3 months we had to wait.
I think it was longer.
It might, 3, maybe 4 months. And she'd already been in vet care for, you know, goodness how long. I don't know how long she'd been in vet care before that. So, that's what can happen if you feed live.
But you've got to imagine. I mean, if she was in a tank like that, and if the door was closed, the rat can't get out. She can't escape the rat's biting. The rat can't escape her going snap, snap, snap at it. So I mean, it's not a nice environment for either of them.
Absolutely,
So
and
it's pretty sad when you think about it like that.
Well, we keep rats as well, and I can tell you from our experience that, I mean, rats have extremely big teeth and sharp teeth, and trust me, they can eat through a pot plant. They can eat straight through the plastic. So if they can eat through plastic, imagine what they can do to a snake. So yeah, it's not a great idea. So you know, there are people out there that argue the point, and I'm not going to argue the point.
That's just what we want anyway.
It's the law. It's not what I want to see. I can tell you firsthand, it's not a great idea for your snakes. So, but anyway, that's my big girl. This is our biggest snake.
So at the moment we're sort of plumping her up for Christmas. We're plumping her up for breeding. So she's a little bit chunky at the moment because after she had her eggs last time, she was so skinny, and just watching up the YouTube videos, we've learnt that they need a little bit more meat on them to get them prepared for it. So.
And she's probably only got a few more feeds in her before we'll start preparing her for this season. We'll need to clean her out, like make sure that before she goes into that breeding season that she hasn't, you don't want her full of poo basically, so she needs to clean the system out and get ready for the breeding season.
And that heavy breathing is the Rottweiler, who likes her spot on the couch. I was going to say something about... by the way, it's a nice fun fact that Bo and Felicia are both toilet trained. Just saying.
Yes, they are.
They actually don't go to the toilet unless we forget, which isn't often. Every Saturday afternoon we have to take them outside. We have to let them have a slither around on the front yard, and they go to the toilet out there. They don't like doing it in their cages. And
they pretty much do it in the same garden.
Yep.
Pretty much in the same spot.
Time.
Like the garden's about the garden that they go into is about 2.5 meters long, and Felicia more so than Bo, but Felicia pretty much does it in exactly the same spot within a couple of 100 mil of where she did it the week before. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, now this fella, he just loves looking around. He wants to get out. He's probably getting ready. He wants to mate. But yeah, no, that's good. All right, down in here.
This is Felicia. Then we're going to go down to Bo.
So now Bo
is another black-headed python.
Yep, and he's obviously a male. And Bo
is Felicia's special friend.
And special friends. They have lots of special cuddles. So,
they really get along well.
Yep.
Hello, darling.
Hello, my beautiful boy. Now look at his snoot. If you can, I don't know if you can see that on the end of his snoot. He's constantly rubbing up against the wire mesh as he's trying to get out. So come on, sweetheart. You want to come out now, bud? Say hello to the viewers. As you can see, Bo's a big snake, but he's nowhere near as big as Felicia. But look at that head. Look at that head. That head is just spectacular. So the story of the blackhead, pretty much that basically why they have a blackhead is it's like a solar panel. So these guys are dirt snakes. They're not arboreal or the semi-arboreal like the Darwin carpet pythons. These guys live on the ground. They burrow. They pretty much usually go into burrows that other animals have been in. They go in there, they'll raid it, they'll you know, whatever's in there. If there's food in there, they'll eat it, and then they'll stay inside that burrow. And then what happens is once the sun comes up in the morning, there's the burrow. They stick their head out of the ground like that, and that's it. That blackhead heats up whilst the rest of the body is still inside that burrow or in a log or whatever they're in for the night. They warm up their body through the blackhead, and then once their body's heated up, they can go out. So that's really a good, I guess, protection mechanism, that they're not exposed completely to the sun. So yeah. So anyway, Bo was our second snake we ever purchased, and we went and we saw some breeders. So in Queensland you can only buy spotted pythons, Stimsons, children's pythons in pet shops. You can't buy snakes like this in a pet shop. You need to go to a breeder, a licensed breeder. Yep, we found a breeder, somebody who bred, you know, not just blackheads, he bred quite a lot. So we purchased him from there. All right, you wanna, we'll put you back in. We've disturbed you for the night, and you're in there probably having a nice little sleep. And I use dog bowls for these bigger snakes, for the waters, because they've got a wider, you can see the bottom is wider, so it's harder to tip over. These snakes, if you just put in just a square plastic tub or whatever, they knock them over, and then you come out the next morning, and then all of a sudden there's no water, and all the substrate is all soaking wet. But with the dog bowls, I mean, they can knock them over if they knock them off the top of here, but it's a lot harder for them to do that. So, you know, it doesn't look as realistic, but it's just practical. All right, come on, babe. In you go, buddy. Yeah. All right, so this is a jaguar carpet python. So basically this is just a reduced pattern from the carpet pythons. So basically it's just a coastal carpet python with a reduced pattern. And this one is about 14 months old. Yeah, he's changed, or she, we're not sure yet if it's a male or female. We think it's a female. Oh yeah, she's changed a little bit since we had her. She was more caramel colour when we bought her. But she's now changing into this really nice, I don't know, what colour would you call that?
I have absolutely no idea. Don't know yet. But yeah, she's just got a basic setup at the moment, because she's not really big enough to have anything huge, and I'm going to do another background for her. But yeah, she likes a little thing to to climb on. She's got a hide, water bowl, water dish. Water bowl and critter crumble.
Yeah. And she's
at the moment probably around not quite a metre.
Yeah, about maybe 800, 900 mil, something like that. Yeah, she was on. What was she on? She was on
Nice.
hopper rats. But she could probably go up to, well, her mate that we got at the same time is the same age. He just went on last week to weaned rats, so I think.
And what a difference that made. So
yeah,
he was this size 2 weeks ago, and now
he's much bigger.
He's this size.
Now we'll actually we'll get him out because we need to clean his cage. So this is the probe to take care of the temperature. Alright, so well, as you can see again there.
He likes to hang on.
Yes, and that's important there. Alright, so he's going to get an upgrade of a cage very, very soon because since we put him on the weaned rat, he's just exploded in size. So, and that's from 1 mil. It was quite interesting. So, yep, we'll so what we'll do here is when they're small like this, we just use paper towels, and then we use a vinegar water mix to clean the cage out. Now you can use go and buy F10 or I think Reptile 1 does a Reptile cleaner. You do not want to use any domestic cleaning products. That is not good. Not good for your snakes at all.
So you can see there, he's about over a metre. I reckon he'd be tipping a metre.
Possibly, yeah.
He's getting a bit weird.
And normally we have our rubbish bin in here to put all this in, so I'll deal with that later. But yeah, he was exactly the same size as Cookie. And Cookie was on a smaller rat, the same size rat as this one was taken, but we put him last fortnight. 2 weeks ago, he had his first weaned rat, and oh man, we noticed a big difference within days. He just...
I love the way they just...
Yeah, he's getting ready to have a
He's going to
shot
have
at
a
me.
crack. He's going to have a crack at it.
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing inside my thing? Now he boops.
He never opens his mouth to bite, he just boops. Boops his snoot. He's a boop. A snoot booper.
He did, when he was a bit younger, he did bite.
I'm going to put some paper there.
I'll put some paper towel in.
Calm down.
Come on. Calm the fun.
Oh, really? You just tipped your water over.
Come on, see? See, he's just booping. He's not biting.
No.
Yeah. So.
Good on you, mate. I just had all that set up.
All right. So that's Cade. That's cleaning his cage. I'll put his little jungle gym back in. Yes, he'll be a lot happier when he's got a bigger terrarium to go in. Again, as we said, you can't put these guys into a massive cage or they'll just stress out. So whoop. Come on, Don, put your head in. There you go. All right. This is my Christmas present. Danny brought this. She had it hidden away. I didn't even know it. She went and bought this for me for Christmas. Now, when I got him, he was, or her.
We're not sure yet. We're hoping it's a scarlet.
We're hoping it's scarlet. We've called it scarlet. But it was tiny. And we're in March. So in 3 months, it's gone from looking like the size of a pencil. Colour was like a
caramel,
like a full caramel colour. And now you can see, and I'll show some photos of when I first got her.
She's just beautiful.
She's already starting to look that albino colour. So the whites and the yellows are starting to appear in her face. Look at her face.
She's so pretty.
That's such a beautiful face. So what's going on there? Why is that? Okay. All right. So a bit of a camera problem there. So you can see there. Look at there's like a pinky colour on the snout around the nose. Just awesome. Not sure if you can see that in the camera, but yeah, she is so beautiful. So she's just a baby version of Fluffy. Not related.
And currently 4 months old.
Currently 4 months old, so yeah.
As of this month, March 2020.
Yep. So she's hanging on. You can see this is the whole arboreal thing, or semi-arboreal thing. You can tell, like compared to the black-headed pythons, the length of the tail. The tail is so long. How long that tail is. No, she's gorgeous.
Or he.
But it's scarlet for now. I don't know what we're going to call it if it turns out to be a boy. But if it turns out to be a boy, then when it gets
perfect when he's
breeding age, be able to breed with Fluffy. And then albino to albino, 100% all babies would be albino.
That's right.
So this is a sibling, but not a clutch mate. So this
is a het for albino.
So this one, as Danny said, is het. This is 100% het for albino Darwin carpet python.
Look at that colour, he's gorgeous. He doesn't actually come out on the camera, but he's like a dark chocolate at the moment, and he'll have several changes.
So nice.
Oh, so pretty.
Such a beautiful snake. So the Morelias, when they're babies, they start off one colour, and as they get older, they start changing colours until they become. So this snake here will eventually be the same colour as that snake there, as Slytherin. So they're both of these snakes are 100% het for albino, and yet they just look two different colours. This looks like a chocolate colour, and Slytherin is got the greens and the blacks and the whites. So they're pretty cool. They change colours.